Are Tubi hood movies over? Hi, my name is Camille Hugh, and I'm a writer and a filmmaker. And today I wanted to talk about Tubi movies, specifically Tubi hood movies. For those who don't know, Tubi is a streaming network just like Hulu, Netflix, and it has an advertising-based model. So it's a free streaming network where you agree to not have to pay anything to watch the content in exchange for also viewing the ads, much like YouTube. And unlike Netflix, where you have to pay a subscription fee every month, although I do believe there is now a tier on Netflix where you either pay less and then you agree to watch the ads. So Tubi is now owned by Fox, and it is known for its hood movies in the Black community, or I guess just it kind of has this reputation generally. It's kind of known for more low budget, lower tier movies, and specifically movies that are coming from Detroit or Atlanta. And the subject matter, why it's called hood movies, is because the subject matter, these movies are about this kind of subculture of drug dealing and gang banging and this kind of hood topics, I suppose. I'm a rom-com girly. You guys know that. I love romantic comedies. And there are other genres of movies on Tubi, but what really made the platform blow up is the wide selection of hood movies. Of late, though, apparently Tubi has gotten a new CEO and they're trying to revamp their reputation, what they're known for. And so they are seemingly becoming more selective with the movies that they not only accept but promote. And so I'm in a number of different Facebook groups where people I'm filmmakers and Tubi lovers, people who love the movies that they watch on Tubi. And the groups that I am in where the filmmakers are talking about distributing their films on Tubi, they're saying that, oh, Tubi has done something that it's never done before. It's rejected my movie. I uploaded these movies and Tubi has said, due to scheduling conflicts, we're not able to accept your movie right now, so try again at another time. And in the groups where they're just these fans, people who love to watch the movies, they're like, oh, Tubi's changed. I went onto Tubi and my homepage didn't show the stuff it normally shows. It was whitewashed. There were no more hood movies being promoted on the homepage. I couldn't find it. I had to go searching specifically for this subgenre or for the title in order to find this movie that I wanted to watch. And so there are claims that Tubi is trying to basically revamp what the type of content that you can find on there. From fewer hood movies, black movies, and I hate the term black movies, right? Because I feel like just because a movie has a majority black cast doesn't mean that white people and other ethnicities and races of people can't enjoy a film, right? Because black people watch majority white cast films all the time. I don't know about Asian and Hispanic and all that other stuff, but generally I feel like I wouldn't turn off a movie just because it has, an all Asian cast, or unless they're speaking a different language. And even then, like, I might watch it if there are captions or subtitles. So But yeah, so Tubi is kind of trying to change a lot of what it used to be known for, and that's causing some people concern. Not only that, Tubi apparently has made a lot of Black independent filmmakers pretty wealthy, the people who were at the forefront of this technology and who had content and they were making content in the early days, because Tubi was paying a lot more than the other streaming networks that independent filmmakers had access to. So way back in the day, it was Amazon. You could upload your films on Amazon, and I have films on Amazon, workout videos, and so go check that out if you're interested. Salsa, cardio dance, soca, cardio dance, and salsa cardio dance too. And that's something where like you can produce your own film, workout video, what have you, TV show, upload it to Amazon. They approve it if it meets certain standards and quality, and then you can sell it. So that's called Transactional TVOD, on demand. And that's where people pay to rent or to purchase your film. So Amazon allows you to do that. And then if it was good enough or popular enough, it would go to their streaming service as VOD, on demand, which is where you pay for Prime, let's say. And so you can watch all their movies. Then your film would go over into that category, and you get a little chunk every time someone watches your film. But basically, when it comes to Tubi, it's like it's become so popular now. One of the theories as to why filmmakers are not making as much money with Tubi is because the platform now has to distribute the small advertising revenue that it generates amongst a larger group of people. And some filmmakers are even saying, I watched my film on Tubi and there were 0 ads, which means that people are watching it, no ads are playing, so I'm not getting paid. What's up with that? But anyway, Amazon, although it used to be popping back in the day, a lot of people started putting content, and then they became more selective. You could no longer get your film on their streaming video service or advertising video service, AVOD. You can only put it on transactional, and they didn't want to have poor quality stuff on their platform. And that seems to be the direction that Tubi is headed. They are filtering out, things that are not up to par, which I don't know. It's kind of good and kind of bad. Like I said, I haven't watched that many films. I've tried. Like, I've come across posts on my Facebook page where someone was like, oh, people that I know that are like, oh, I made this film and it's on Tubi, and they dropped the link. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go watch it and support. And it was hard.
Did you eat llama?
It's hard to get through a movie that is really lacking, not only in production value, but in story and pacing. It's hard to sit through a movie like that. And even the other day when I tried to watch a film again, that a filmmaker who was marketing the film a lot, I kept seeing it. So I was like, oh, I'll go and check it out. The poster looked good and everything. The concept seemed okay, judging by the log line. So I went and I turned it on. And actually, this was on Prime. I lied. It wasn't even on Tubi. It was on Prime. But it was being promoted in one of the groups that does Tubi and Prime movies. And I turned it on. And I couldn't last.
Did you eat a treat for work?
Past 5 minutes. And that's because, like, during the first few minutes, it was just this very long, extended, wordless, like there were no words exchanged at all for the first, like, few minutes. There was no story unfolding. Normally you have an intro. It was just this really long montage, just scenes of the same thing going over and over again. And while the production quality was kind of okay. You know, the set was okay. They clearly had rented out a nice location. I couldn't. I just couldn't stomach it because the plot was trotting along. I wasn't very optimistic that it was gonna get any better the way it started. And so, if Tubi is going to be more selective, then it's going to force people to up their storytelling standards. It's like you should be studying your craft. You should be studying story and screenwriting and, moving the story along, getting into the story. What's the goal here? What's the dilemma? What's the problem that the protagonist needs to solve? Where's the inciting incident? And it needs to come, or something needs to be happening first to show what is their everyday life, that they're coming from before they get pushed into this new direction in their life. And it's going to force people to not just think, oh, let me just get my iPhone and just like get some friends together and film something and expect to make a lot of money off of it.
My plan was to come here, grab the cash and dash.
Because it's from the right place. It's from Detroit, or it has some known actors in it. So it's kind of good in that hopefully it will force people to elevate their content and put more time and forethought and to maybe get feedback or hire script editors and consultants, or at least pass it through a writing group to get the story as interesting as it can be and the content to be just as good as it can be, so that just because you're someone who enjoys Black films, you don't want to just watch any and every old thing. I love to watch films where there are Black characters in it. All my films, particularly because I'm also a performer in them, and I write from what I know. And I want to see a diverse cast. It's not even just like a Black film. I want to see a diverse cast, and I want to see just different scenarios. I don't want to see movies that are centered really on the race of the characters or their struggles because they're Black or anything like that. Like, I like to see uplifting, feel good, lighthearted, not even necessarily lighthearted, but just stories that I can relate to. And I don't relate to like struggle, love, or toxic kind of, drug hood. I can't relate to that. So that's not what I really enjoy watching. I understand there are people who do enjoy that type of stuff and they want to see it, but I'm sure they want to see stuff that also the filmmaker has polished it. There can be interesting stories that address these themes, but again, they need to have substance. They need to be built on a foundation and then stack layers on top, and things need to make sense. Like someone was talking about, they tried watching a Tubi movie the other day and it made not one lick of sense. It was just like so disappointing. You feel like it's a waste of your time. And so you want to honor your audience and put as much thought into the story, into the script, and as well as into the production. And people are pretty forgiving when it comes to production, I think, if the story is good, but it's even better when you have both, when you have the story and you have the quality. So I don't know. I think it's not the end of hood movies on Tubi, and even if Tubi were to say, which I don't think they will, we're not taking any more hood movies, that's kind of just shooting themselves in the foot. They're just gonna make it harder for you to find, or you're like, you're going on there specifically for that. You're going to have to be in these communities, in these groups where they're promoting this specific film, and you're going to have to search it out because they're not going to be putting it on the homepage, pushing it, marketing it, I suppose, unless it's really well done. So I don't think it's the end of hood movies on Tubi. People will still be able to find them. Maybe just fewer amounts of them will be on available because they are becoming more selective. But if you make a film that's a hood movie and it's of substance, then I think they will accept it openly and gladly because there is an audience there for it. And I think if they were to ever just decide we're not allowing this type of content on our platform anymore, and don't think it's impossible. I mean, it would be very strange, but a while back, Amazon decided that they weren't allowing any more documentaries to be uploaded to their platform. If you had a documentary, you were asked out. You just had to find somewhere else to post to get your documentary up. So a platform could decide that, like, we don't have this genre anymore. You know, well, too bad, so sad. I don't think they will do that, but they will limit the amount of exposure and free marketing and push versus what they used to. So that's my take on it. I don't know if this lended anything at all to the discourse on the topic, but yeah, don't be surprised, you know, if you see a change in Tubi. And even my parents watch Tubi. Everybody's watching Tubi nowadays, and it's free. Like, I love free streaming platforms. I don't mind watching a little ad here and there, but I also, you know, don't mind paying for something that it's really, really good. That's why we go to the movies, you know. So paying a couple of bucks, and I notice some people are now transitioning over to, oh, you can watch my movie on Prime, you pay a couple of bucks. I think that might be a lot of the way forward for independent filmmakers who have an audience, at least. It's harder if you don't have an audience. So that's my take on it anyway. And Trouble in Law, when it is ready, will be available on Tubi. I think we might do some screening events first before it is released on Tubi, and other streaming networks, other AVOD platforms and SVOD platforms. It might even be available for a short period of time as a transactional TVOD. You know, you pay a couple of bucks, you can watch it to support me, because filmmakers get like a huge chunk of that portion when someone purchases like a $3 rental or $5, you know, to buy the actual film. The filmmaker actually makes, you know, 80-90% of that money versus the streaming platforms where you make considerably less. Speaking of, if you want your filmmakers to be able to elevate the production quality, then you might need to open up those purse strings a little bit and support when it's on a TVOD, or if it's screening in a theater as an event or some other venue, to go watch it. That's kind of the state that we're in. But we'll see how it goes. Time will tell, and even if they fall off, some other platform will pop up that will be willing to take on the stuff that Tubi's like, oh, we don't really want that anymore. You keep that over there.
Go that way.
Some other platform will take its place. Any platform that's paying its filmmakers more than the other one, that's giving the highest returns, they're likely to get the bulk of the content, especially if they have the marketing dollars behind them. And now we know that Tubi is no longer this small little independently owned channel. It's owned by Fox. You know, they have money. They have money to market it and put it in commercials during the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So, all right, well, that's been it for me. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.